Angelica Donati is the president of Italy's Property Developers Association, ANS. Giovanni, earlier I asked her how much Italy's construction sector has been boosted ahead of these games.
Well, there's been a significant amount of investment into these games. It's a 3.5 billion investment overall between Milan and Cortina. And of course, we can't just think about the investment, but also the long-term, let's say, positive externalities, which are estimated to being over 5 billion. Of course, not just in construction, but in tourism as well, which is going to be a very important factor over the next few years in the area.
How much could this help the economy as a whole? I'm thinking of during and after the games, across multiple sectors.
Right, 5.3 billion euros of direct effects during and after the games, which I think can probably be amplified in the long term. I mean, look, we have other cases of success stories of these big events which have caused long-term growth and change. Just think about Milan. Post the 2015 Expo, it was kind of the turning point for the city, and it drove the investment boom that is still going on. So I think Italy needs to make the most of these big events when we have them, because, for example, the Milan Cortina Games have been a wonderful opportunity to boost infrastructure development in an area of Italy in the northeast, which was historically very poorly connected. And of course, this better connectivity isn't just functional for the games, but it will be very useful to drive tourism over the next years and decades as well.
We know that Italy's economy is battling a little bit, and the 2026 EU forecast is not as great as one would like. So if you think of things like the COVID Recovery Fund that Italy has had at its access, it's not used all of that. What's going wrong there?
So, first of all, absolutely, and there's been recent estimates by Confindustria which show that had we not have the PNRR, the Recovery Fund, our growth would have been stagnant, whereas even though it's low, it's been positive and is forecasted to be positive in 2026 as well. Not all the funds have been spent. Not all of them will be spent. I can say with a bit of pride that the highest level of spend has happened in the construction space. As you know, half of the around 200 billion euros that we're receiving from the EU, whether it's a loan or a grant, are going through construction, and construction spending is the most advanced. Our estimates are that at least 60% of projects will be finished on track, and so will be fully, let's say, fully paid off. The problem we've had in Italy, and probably the biggest positive inheritance from the PNRR, is our change in policy. So one of the biggest changes we've had to make to implement PNRR is improve our bureaucracy, simplify some processes. Now, I think this will pay off more in the long term, because obviously in the space of 4 years, revolutionary change is hard, but we've put in place new positive practices which can be used to then funnel and channel future investments in a much better way.